Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm Logan with All Paths Taken. This is part 13 of our 100% walkthrough of Bloodborne. Last episode we melted Mikolash after exploring the first half of Mensis. In this episode we will be completing the final area and bosses of the game, excluding Gehrman and Moon Presence. So as always, we're going to go for full completion, every item, every secret, every boss, so grab your weapon of choice and let's continue the hunt. So we are starting at our lamp that we just got at the end of the episode after we beat Mikolash. We are going to run right up here and we're going to kill all of these dudes. We want to kill the dog primarily and then go for the crows. Now, a couple of things that I will mention. We are going to get the blood rock. We are going to get an 18% gem. I should have mentioned at the end of the last episode that you will want to have low insight on this, and you would want to have as high of frenzy resistance as possible. So even my armor that's at 56 frenzy resistance, I'm going to switch to the Ashen set because that has the highest resistance in the game, and I really don't want to get frenzied. And I'm also going to make sure I have sedatives on. Now, oh god, now we're going to go into the elevator. We have a drop to make, and then we're going to go get our gem and blood rock from the hardest enemies in the game simply because of their frenzy that they do. So we are going to first grab this chest that has an item we need for the chalices that we will do after the DLC. And then we are going to slap on blue elixir. And we are going to start running. We are not going to kill anybody over here. We are simply going to run past and grab the items we need. So, this guy, just roll out of the way. And away we go. If you're fast enough... Oh, I wasn't. That sucks. If you're fast enough, you can use a sedative. But then we're going to run to the left again. And we're going to grab a tempering blood gem. That is our 18%er. And then we're going to run into the room. Do not stop running, even if the spiders see you. And get into the next room down to the bottom of the stairs. Now, if you want to go back and kill those spiders, you can. Just know that there's literally nothing that they will give you. So, there's literally nothing. There shouldn't be any items in there other than what they could potentially drop, like Madman's Knowledge or Quicksilver Bullets. I'm going to go back and show you just to be sure. Hello, can I lock onto you? See? Nada. So, if you want to kill him, you can. If not gonna bother me any way, shape, or form. I just wanted to show you because I know there's going to be one person that's like, but what if he's wrong? Alright, now we want to hit this lever because we have to go visit this Mensis brain so we can get the only living string in the game for our final chalice dungeon. So we do have to go down there, and I will show you how to do that near the end of this video. But we are going to drop down here, and you want to hide behind the rock as best you can. We want to... That's not the right button. We want to use the blue elixir and wait for it to move on. And then we're going to run across the pillar. And we have to kill this one. Trick attacks work best. You can also parry it if you would like. Again, it's not the end of the world to get frenzied. Just make sure that you are above 80% because it will take 80% of your health bar. And then we had to get another hunter tool, the choir bell. Then we're going to run back this way. And we're going to grab all of these items on the bridge. So we got Great One's Wisdom, a Blood Gem, more Great One's Wisdom, and then we have a Damp Blood Gem on the other side of the bridge over here. And I believe another Madman's Knowledge. So that Blood Gem, best Blood Gem in the game for the Chikage. I highly recommend you slap that puppy on, along with the 18%ers that we get as well. And this is our door that leads into the boss area for Mikolash. So this is where we came across and ran right into the arena, right? This is where the bridge was before we lifted it up. All it does is get us into the room so we can go grab any items that are there. But I believe we have grabbed them all. So now we're going to head this way to go grab our blood rock. Then after we grab our blood rock, we're going to warp back to the dream. Fall down into the hole. Grab your blood rock. If you have not killed that NPC, you can come right out here and kill him. He'll be standing right over there. Something like that. He'll be standing right around that area. But yeah, and if you don't want to use a Bold Hunter's Mark, just take a right, and you can use that elevator shortcut that we got earlier in the previous episode. But from here, we're going to go back to the dream, get our saw spear to +10, or whatever weapon you chose up to +10. And then we will have a good time through the rest of the level. Alright, let's fortify. Boom. Done. God, that feels nice. Let's slap on our tempering gem. Then we got our other tempering gem, right? Yep, we got 2 18s and a 12%er. Here in a little bit. Oh, I should repair my weapon just cuz. Ooh, I don't need to repair it. Nice. Cool. Let's see. How much blood do I have? Do I have a lot or a little? I am good on blood. Let's go back to my fashion. I liked how I looked a couple episodes ago. Where is it? Boom. Love it. Alright, now we're going to head back to the middle. And we will carry on through the rest of the level. Hey, if you're enjoying the run, make sure to subscribe to my channel, All Paths Taken. I cover every secret, every boss, and every hidden path so you never miss a thing. Because here, we don't just play the game, we take all paths. So be sure to subscribe right now. Alright, I suppose I should mention, if you did not pay attention near the end of the episode, because I know I said it like right at the end, so some of you might not have heard it, because you might have turned off too quickly. But we are not fighting Gehrman or Moon Presence in this playthrough yet. We're going to wait till after the DLC, because if you kill Moon Presence and use a Bold Hunter's Mark as soon as you see Nightmare Slain, you will warp out of the arena and get all of those ruins as a reward for killing the bosses, and then you can go continue the DLC and etc. But what I don't want to have happen is someone who's picking up the game for the first time and they loved it so much on their first playthrough that they want to play it for a second time and get all the trophies, but they don't fully understand how some of the mechanics works or the timings of things, and I don't want them to get into New Game Plus and be like, you lied to me, right? I don't want that. I don't want that for you, because that means you got to go through the whole game again, and you already have to go through the game 3 times, right? Like, you have to go through the game 3 times to get every ending in the game. So my worry is that you guys, or somebody out there, just ends up wasting a trip because they didn't kill all of the bosses. Because like fighting at Britos on New Game compared to New Game Plus is a lot different. But we're going to grab those chunks that are hidden behind that little corner. Then we're going to come up this way and we are going to kill a pig. So you got to sneak up stealthy like, and then we're going to aim for that really gross butthole that somebody had to make. And then we're going to fist it really hard. Beauty. Then we're going to grab the blood. We are going to throw on a blue elixir. And we are going to run. I do not recommend trying to fight any of the enemies in this next area, because holy crap, there are a lot of them. And they are tanky. You can do it. It is possible. I've done it. But it's hard. And it's honestly a little annoying, because you got a boatload of enemies over here to kill. So how we're going to do this is take a hard left turn, because we got a couple more chunks to grab on this side. We have 2 shadows of Yarnum to kill. Do not grab that item, because one of the shadows is right here. And by the end of our little fight, you can go kill this dude. And then we can move on with our lives. God, this little spot is so scenic. Even if they have nothing but like blurry fog covering it, I think it looks so sweet. It reminds me of Demon's Souls. Like, Demon Souls wasn't the first game that I played from Software. That'd be Bloodborne. But, like, Demon Souls has that type of vibe, and I love it so much. Alright, now, from this point, if you don't want to fight them, you do not have to. You can simply just sprint. You don't even need to use a blue elixir. They will stop chasing you relatively quick, because they move very slowly. But now we get to see Queen Elizabeth, I believe. I think that's her name. It's been a while. No, Queen Yarnum. What am I thinking? Queen Elizabeth. My goodness. And then we get Yosefka's Blood Vial. If you have used yours already or you haven't grabbed it from Yosefka's clinic, you get another one there. But this is pure lore. She's like, oh my god, my baby, what happened? But we got to come over here first and get a shortcut. If you want to level up, you can. I am going to go level up as well. I want to make sure I get that other gem on to make sure I'm doing as much damage as possible, because we did pick up another gem that does 14% damage. So we're slapping that baby on, since we now will have the 3 strongest gems in the game on our weapon, at least in the base game. We have a lot of gems in the chalices that could eventually get up to 27% more damage, which is ridiculous. So instead of doing just 100 flat damage with your base weapon, now you could get up to, what is it, 27 times 3 if you find 3 of them. Oh, God. Like 90, almost 90%, like 83% more damage. That's ridiculous. That's absurd. That is straight up insanity. Okay, where's my 14%er? It should be a Nourishing Blood Gem. There it is. Wow, that's a lot of damage. So we went from 247 to 256. That's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. Let's repair our weapon. And now, since we took off that cursed gem, we don't have to repair our weapon as much. And we can level up. I'm just going to get health to 50. And then after that, I will go from there. I hope you guys are noticing how strong you are after completing the game up to this point. Because we really only have 2 bosses before the end bosses of the game. And that's Wetnurse, who we're going to go absolutely melt right now. And then we have a Britas immediately after that. And then the base game is done. So this is a pretty quick episode. But we do have a couple other things to grab, I should mention as well. Because I did miss a couple chunks, but I can go grab that right now for you. So all you're going to do is run this way to the left. You're going to run past all of these guys, because you don't need to fight them to get these chunks. And you're going to run up the stairs over here. And then you can drop down in the sewer section to find this little dude. Alright. Perfect. Now you can warp back, or you can run. I'm just going to run to the boss so I don't have to warp back again. But this little section is by our shadows that we killed. Like, there's the one that saw us from the scenic view that I was talking about. And then there's going to be another one right here who's probably going to try to attack me. So yeah, it's just another little way to run through this level. But after I kill Wetnurse, remind me in the future to past me. That made sense. Remind me to go get the living string from the Nightmare of Menses. No, the Brain Menses. There we go. That's the word. Alright, so we can throw on our Beast Blood pellets. We can throw on our fire paper. We can send the elevator back down just in case we happen to die. But this boss, there's really only one way to fight it. You smack the butt. That's it. It's got a lot of swipes. It's got like a lawnmower attack where it just constantly spins its blades at you and slashes at you. Safest place is by its butt. It does a couple of big swipes where it turns and twists after the swipe, and sometimes it will do like a 3-hit combo, but that's literally if it hits you one of the 3 swipes. So if it hits you on the first one or the second one, it will follow up with a third. If it does not hit you in the first 2 because you dodged behind him and you're in its butt now, then it will leave you alone. It won't attack anymore. Around 50% of its health bar left, it will bend over, lift its head high in the air, and purple aura will come around it. here's how you're going to do this. You're going to lock on, you're going to dodge right, and then you're going to dodge back. You're not going to dodge left and right. You need to dodge right and then backwards, or right and then forwards. Something like that where you're changing directions twice. The reason being is you can dodge that attack. You can skip it completely. And it is one of the trickiest attacks to avoid, but you definitely can do it. It is doable. I've done it all the time. I'm not very consistent at it anymore, but I used to be able to do it legitimately every single playthrough. If you do not dodge that attack at the right time, you're basically just going to have to run around in a circle until all of the barrage and the night and the world goes dark essentially goes away, and you can just go back to a normal boss fight. So we'll see what happens. I will try to get that attack to happen, but honestly, I'm going to be doing so much damage, I don't think it's going to happen. I think I'm just going to melt the boss really fast. So that's the 3-hit combo. If you hit him with one attack, it will always do a second or a third. This is your lawnmower attack. God, that's so much damage. Again, 3-hit combo. If it hits you, it will do more. Alright. You gonna do it? No, you're just doing the 3-hit combo, huh? That's the 3-hit combo. Big sweep. Come on, do your purple. No, that's fine. Ouch. And, well, that's your fight. Now, this is a boss that you can kill to get your first ending of the game. And you can now go talk to Gehrman and submit your life to get one of the endings of the game. If you refuse, you can kill Gehrman, and that is your second ending of the game. And then the third ending, which is what we are going to do after the DLC, is we are then going to use all of our umbilical cords that we just got. This is our last one from Wetnurse. You can also get the third one if you followed along with the playthrough. By now, the prostitute who's in Cathedral Ward in our in the Cathedral Ward chapel. I'm blanking on the name of the chapel for some reason, which is crazy considering I know everything about the game. You can then go backtrack into the sewers by Uden Temple. And you will find her with her baby, and you can kill the baby to get another umbilical cord. So you can technically get 4 umbilical cords every playthrough. Like right now I only have 2. Actually I only have 2. I'll do it right now. I'll show you what I mean. I thought I picked up my other one. But I'll show you where to get all 4 of them. The other one is to go through Yusefka's clinic, which I will do right after this, and then we will go run and fight Abritas. Alright, so from here you can see she is gone, and there is blood kind of stuck on the floor going through the doors. So we're just going to follow the trail of blood heading this way. And then we're going to run into her when we get right into here. So you can see her, she is there. So, there you go. We got the little baby. And we get our 1/3 umbilical cord. Now, do you give me anything? If I kill you? I don't remember. Hey, we get her shoes. That's right. I forgot. So if you want nice shoes, you can do that. Dang, we got a lot of insight. I think we got 9 insight for killing Wetnurse. For seeing Wetnurse, killing Wetnurse, and then coming here. Pretty crazy. Alright, so now we are going to head to Yusefka's clinic. So, first floor, sick room. Then we should be able to run backwards, and we should have an NPC that we will, that should be corrupted and, like, crazy and bent over backwards on a bench that we can get another umbilical cord. We just gotta backtrack. If these doors aren't open, you can go out towards the start of the area, towards the central Yharnam lamp, but instead of going left, where that big tall ladder is that leads up to the central Yharnam lamp is, you can take a right before that gate, and you'll come out that small side where we did when we came through the Forbidden Woods. But up here, we have another NPC. This lady will try to fight you if you come here before Rom. So once you get through Rom, you can listen to her dialogue, you can kill her, and then you get another umbilical cord. So there's no other secret ending where if I use all 4 umbilical cords, will I get more bosses? No, the last one is Moon Presence. You just need to use 3 of them. So this little one that we grabbed was purely just so you guys know where it is and that you could potentially get 4 every run. So if you're trying to farm for insight to get more blood pellets or paper or anything else like that, like clothes, you can do that as well. And speaking of that, I'm going to buy some because I got 26. My goodness. We're going to do 10 of those for sure. And then I got to think. We're doing DLC next. We'll buy 4 of these. And we're going to just spend the rest in bolt paper. Because most of the bosses in the DLC are weak to bolt paper, not fire paper. Now, we are essentially ready for the DLC, but we have 1 boss left. And that is arguably the hardest boss in the base game of Bloodborne. And that is Ebritas. So, from this lamp, we're going to go this direction. I did show you what to do or where to go after we killed the blue goobers in the Upper Cathedral Ward episode, but we were coming from the Lumenwood Gardens, or Lumen Flower Gardens, I forget the name, and we are going to kill these 2 dudes. You can also just run in and then hug one of the sides of the circle, and one or both of them will just fall on top of you or next to you. You do not need to kill these guys. I will kill them right now purely because I do not want any interruptions while I explain what's going on with this fight. Because this fight can be incredibly tricky. So, here's how this is going to work. You guys are going to walk up on that side of Ebritas. If you're using the saw spear, this is how it works. In most weapons, this is how it works. You're going to walk up to this side of Ebritas, not her butt, but on her left tentacle or her left arm. Then you are going to right, left, left, and then you're going to buff yourself. Okay, you're going to put on bolt paper, which you're going to use, or excuse me, let me back up. Beast Blood Pellet right when you get there, before you start attacking. Then R1, L1, L1 to get beast meter higher. You're going to use bolt paper. When she turns, as soon as she turns, you're going to hit R1, and then the boss will stagger. Then you're going to go to Pound Town on that boss. And if you're doing enough damage, which by now we should be, because you should be somewhere around that 50 skill, 40 health. If you're at 50 health and 40 skill, you'll be just fine. You should be pretty good. But if the boss does not stagger, like you miss that turnaround when she's there, you need to hug that side of her, that left arm and a little bit by her left butt cheek, as much as possible. For some reason, very few of her hitboxes hit that spot. If you're not in that good enough position, you will get absolutely obliterated by all of her attacks. Now, when she gets about half health, she will lay her head down and start shaking, and then she will emit a sound, a high-pitched sound, that will take your health down in the fight. And it is a consistent health drop. And while you are in that area, like where the world is going to be shaking, you'll kind of see like a bubble around her if you try to back away. You're not going to see it when I fight, because I stay in the bubble. When that happens, you're going to have to get out of it if you want to fully heal and not keep taking damage. Overall, though, if you're doing enough damage, the boss will continually stagger. If you see her stagger and hear the sound where a visceral opportunity has opened, run to the head, lock onto the head, and hit R1. And then pretty much the fight's going to be basically over. Now I will mention, if you mess this up and the boss attacks and you die, the boss will not be in this position anymore. It will be about right where my head is, off the rocks. So as soon as you step into that little area, the boss fight's going to trigger. She's going to turn around and charge at you. And the fight got a heck of a lot harder because you got to get into that tight little spot on her body. But overall, Ebritas is definitely a challenge. It can be a complete pushover, or be like the hardest fight ever. I highly recommend you watch. If I do it right, you watch me do it right. If not, and I don't do it right, pay attention to see where to position yourself so you can do the most amount of damage with this fight. But the last thing I forgot to mention is do not lock on. If you lock on, the camera will change where you're at, and it'll be very, very hard. You don't need to see exactly where the boss is, because you're trying to focus on staying in this position on the boss. Oh, I did this wrong already. Well, this sucks. We're just going to do that. And the turn. Oh, I did that wrong. Whoo, okay. Again, do not lock on. You want to stay in this little bit to get this staggers going. I'm not in the right spot. So we want to stay right about... I'm just going to die probably. We want to stay right in this little area where most of her attacks will not hit us. I am doing a terrible job showing you what to do, and I apologize. But we want to stay right here because most of the time she's just going to do that attack, which won't hit us. Alright, this is the big attack if you want to go for a charge. Why did it not go for a charge? Bloodborne, what are you doing to me? Bloodborne, what are you doing to me? Whoo! Oh my goodness, remember when I said things can go horribly wrong? Whew! Alright, well, I just about pooped myself. My goodness. Yeah, don't do that. Don't fight her that way. That was terrible. You want to stay on that left butt, that left leg, as hard as humanly possible. The reason she got away from me was because I stopped attacking because I was trying to show you guys where to stand. So if this is like her leg and then it bends there, you want to stay right in this spot and a little bit beyond it trying to hit her. And you don't want to lock on because it'll change your perspective and you'll eventually get in front. Kind of like what was happening to me. That was a very poor showing of how to fight a Britas. But since I got so much health, we're good. We Gucci. But that is every boss in Bloodborne. Congratulations. Pat yourself on the back. You have done every boss in the base game of Bloodborne. Next up is the DLC, where we will start from, will be in Cathedral Ward, in the Temple of Udin, or the Church of Udin. So I will see you all in the next episode. Have a great day, everybody. Hey guys, remember when I said I was going to show you at the end of the video? Yeah, this definitely isn't me in the future. You know, when we're done with the DLC and I'm editing, that I need to go get the living string. So we're going to go get the living string. We're going to start from Mergo Loft space. We're going to go up this elevator. And we're going to head down to the next elevator where the lady with the axe and chain is, along with the little dudes that are shooting bolts. Because we got an elevator ride down into the dark. Now, if you went to Upper Cathedral Ward, because you've been following along with my playthrough, or my walkthrough of the game, you would have made contact with that gesture that is there, because we do need that gesture, and we can slap that puppy on while we are going right now. So point forward, switch it down to make contact, and then here in a little bit, which you might already be able to see if you're playing online, or you can see kind of way over there in that darkness abyss, we have our Mensis brain. So here's what you need to do first before you do anything. We got to switch and use our gesture, and we got to sit here for about 1 minute. So I will see you soon. And there we go. Beautiful. So we get the moon rune, which is one of the better runes to use. You can slap on a beast blood pellet and some fire paper, bolt paper, whatever you choose. I'm going to use bolt paper because I got it on right meow. And then all you're going to do, come on, is beat it. Be like Michael Jackson and just beat it. So the reason we're doing this is because it has the living string. This is the only living string in the game, so you will need to come through and kill this guy at least once on your playthrough to get to the final chalice for the chalice dungeons. So if you have not done this already, I highly recommend you do it. But back to your regularly scheduled program.